Self-doubt is this shit thing of our curiosity and questioning capacity turning on us. This session is to let go of self-doubt, reorienting our inquiring minds to dissolve all of the shoulds and re-enter the realm of meaningful work via on-point alignment inside authentic expression, soulful subsistence, infinitely resourced always. Please do consent. Please give it a big fuck yes that this quantum energy transmission is allowed to reach you in its fullness at the exact voltage that's needed, wanted, can be put to use in your personal system right now, today. Let's start with the shoulds. We're going to scan the field, and we're going to recycle any tangles of charge that we find stuck as we call forward any shoulds. And everything is getting recycled above and below. So smooth, so supported. And the energy of the earth and the Reiki energy of Source move with so much ease and grace into your body, into the places that are letting go. So that they know, so that you know, it's all okay. And this is the way. You can have conscious thoughts of shoulds that feel stuck in you. You can let your mind wander. You can let your mind listen. You can do your best to hold it steady at center. There's no right way of experiencing this. The shoulds have been pretty incessant in the energies we've inherited, the energy patterns, combinations of behaviors that have been passed down to us. We're giving it all up. Because you know what the shoulds block us from? Ourself. They block the process of Everything that we look at, whether with our inner eye or physical eyes, everything we notice, we're meant to experience and bounce off of back into ourselves. Where the doubt of the logical mind is meant to always spiral us through time and space back to our own center point. Everything we look at, if there is a healthy, active doubt, bounces us back to our place of sureness, our own center. Self-doubt occurs when that process is stuck, when there's been a should inserted, as though you should be able to find the sureness in the thing outside yourself. The reflection becomes distorted and sense of self becomes off-center. Not only is that painful and the explanation for all suffering, it also means whatever we do from that place doesn't feel like the same soulful fulfillment as the meaningful work that occurs when we are at center, where no matter what we say or do from center is that satiating expression of purpose, of meaning. Even if it's only breathing, what a contribution to breathe from center. These shoulds feel like splinters. Just chopping them up, even smaller, so they can be carried off in the breeze of these deep breaths, recycled with the earth. All these shoulds emanating through generations, mostly with good intentions, survival intentions, loving intentions, but love becoming distorted by fear due to people being off-center, filled with self-doubt, trying to prove something from a spot that isn't center, never completely effective, perpetuating the self-doubt, perpetuating an accumulation of shoulds, trying to stack a stairway back to some place that feels safe and secure, when it's the dissolving of efforting that way that drops us back to center, a place of knowing, of trust. Working in the psychic field, around the head, through the head. The rationalization, the reason, the practicalities of all the shoulds have carried so much weight and blocked pathways. It's totally up to your free will, whether you say yes, yes, yes to the melting of those blocks here and now and over time. It's allowed to take as much time as you perceive needed or possible. And the self-doubt perpetuates a disbelief in how rapid transformation can occur, because doubt of the self, being off-center in the self, creates a dissonance. In understanding with your feeling and sensing faculties that everything is now. And that you're constantly playing in a quantum field where everything that you do counts. Which doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but it's a quality of play with yourself that defines the meaning of your work, how you exist, moment by moment, your state of being, not your circumstances. But as we dissolve the self-doubt and bridge the gap between our experiencing self and our deep, inner, conscious, centered self, the instantaneous manifestations of aligned conscious and unconscious will become apparent. And imagine what you can create with that coherence, with the amount of flow that can move through you in that flexibility and openness. Okay, we're going to go digging in the hips. Stir it up. Definitely invite you to shake it out. Actually, maybe we'll finish this session with some shaking it out together. Sending all that excess charge through the lower body, through the feet. Shoulders and spine that have carried the weight of so many shoulds. Feeling some relief here and now, more and more relief as the days go on. Wishing you so much meaningful work, which doesn't mean I wish you to ever overwork or to feel obsessed with doing from a place of scarcity, of not having enough or being enough, but quite the opposite, that every breath feels meaningful in your beingness, in your centeredness, in your connection to all things, understanding the contribution of your simple presence. And then how you find your way so naturally into expressions that feel so satiating, that are so clearly the portal of your offering. I wish you endless golden threads, tasting the trust, tantalized to your own center spot, more and more evident as we let go. Habits, behaviors, beliefs, ways of doing and being that served in some way. But letting go and experiencing the spaciousness serves even more. I had an interesting conversation yesterday with a new friend I met through social media. And he said, I used to judge you, the stuff you're doing on the internet. I thought, you must have had an easy life to love yourself like that. You must not have lived through stuff like I have. If you like yourself, if you love yourself like that. But he kept following. And it's not to say that I haven't had a privileged experience. The color of my skin immediately says that I have. And I had to choose my way through. And 20-year-old me would have seen this version of me on the internet and said, ew, too. The inner and outer abuses that I experienced gave me the opportunity to spend lots of this life off-center, filled with self-doubt, filled with the anguish of experiencing duality as this ugly, impossible thing. Accumulating a lot of shoulds, trying to be good. At some point, good became less appealing, and finding, allowing, surrendering to being honest and kind at the same time became the most important thing. That became the strongest sense of meaningful work that I had encountered yet. And I started to doubt myself less and less, which didn't mean that I didn't play with doubt just as much. But the texture of it shifted into friendliness, into always finding my way back to myself. self-doubt as this exquisite curiosity of questioning everything from every angle, to never be stagnant, to never get stuck anywhere, to always be willing to ask more questions, and to let every question bounce me back to this place in myself where I am listening for the answer center. Higher mind, kind witness, higher mind, able to observe through the feeling and sensing faculties and narrate the different layers of thinking and feeling, experiencing, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, creating a morality of honest and kind at the same time. Do I still experience self-doubt? Indeed. And I think, oh, thank goodness, I've made my way to a deeper pocket now. I'm meeting this intensity to get through even more to me, to anchor even more sturdy at center. Thank goodness I'm finding this attachment, this fixation, doubting who I am, what I am, my worth, my value, my purpose, all melts back. And the heat of that melting cleanses the shoulds. As I make my way back to me, you making your way back to you. So beautiful and true. Nothing has ever been able to take that away. Veils of illusion, yes. Falling, dissolving, crumbling now, yes. Sturdy in your own center with no shortage of meaningful work, and only overwhelmed by the magnanimity of joy, of being so yourself, energized and in flow, able to be all of it all at once, the active, contributing, and the relaxed surrender. Sealing this session with a platinum infinity sign. And so it is.